6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Kilani. First, the headlines. Prime Minister will leave for Beijing tomorrow on a 5-day official visit to China to further boost bilateral relations and cooperation in diverse fields. China has expressed its readiness to expedite work on second phase CPAC projects, including ML1, Gwadar Port, and realignment of Karakoram Highway. Finance Minister says digitization of the tax system and e-governance will enhance transparency and revenue growth. Pakistan and Korea have agreed to strengthen economic cooperation and work towards addressing mutual concerns for benefits of both countries. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, occupation troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 Kashmiri youth in Pulwama district today. Pakistan beat Canada by 8-1 in FIH Hockey Nations Cup at Gniezno in Poland today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif will undertake a 5-day official visit to China from tomorrow at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Qiang. During the 3-segment trip, the Prime Minister will visit the cities of Xi'an and Shenzhen besides Beijing. Shehbaz Sharif will meet President Xi Jinping and hold delegation-level talks with Premier Li Qiang in Beijing. He will also hold meetings with Chairman of Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Zhao Liji, and heads of key government departments. An important aspect of the Prime Minister's visit will be meetings with corporate executives of leading Chinese companies dealing in oil and gas, energy, ICT, and emerging technologies. In Shenzhen, Prime Minister will address the China-Pakistan Business Forum with leading businesspersons, entrepreneurs, and investors from both countries. He will also visit economic and agricultural zones in China. The two sides will undertake discussions to further upgrade China-Pakistan economic corridor and advance trade and investment. The talks will be held to enhance cooperation in security, defense, energy, space, science and technology, and education sectors. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ataullah Tarar says a delegation of over 100 top business people from Pakistan will also accompany the Prime Minister to finalize business-to-business agreements with Chinese companies. Addressing a news conference in Lahore today, he said the business delegation will leave for China from Pakistan tonight and will bear all its expenditure. The minister said the visit will be a big step towards reviving Pakistan's economy and enhance investors' confidence. He said Pakistani businessmen will hold meetings with Chinese entrepreneurs to promote business-to-business cooperation between the two countries in all sectors, including information technology, steel, agriculture, and industry. Chinese ambassador in Pakistan, Jiang Zhaidong, says the upcoming visit of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to China will become another milestone in the development of China-Pakistan relations. In an interview with the APP, the ambassador said the leaders of both countries will have an in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and issues of mutual interest. He said China stands ready to work with Pakistan through this visit to make greater progress in our all-weather strategic cooperative partnership. The ambassador said the landmark BRI project brought a total of $25.4 billion in direct investment, 236,000 jobs, 510 kilometers of highways, more than 8,000 megawatts of electricity, and 886 kilometers of core transmission network. Under the second phase of CPAC, he said both countries would implement the important consensus reached by their leaders, including upgradation of ML1, the Gwadar Port, and realignment of Karakoram Highway Phase 2. Moreover, the two countries will strengthen cooperation in industry, agriculture, mining, new energy, information technology, and other fields based on local conditions and further negotiate and promote trade liberalization. Minister for Finance Mohammad Aurangzeb has emphasized the significant potential of e-governance in Pakistan. Talking to Deputy Director focus country implementation of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Jason Lamb, in Islamabad today. He said the digitization of tax system is a pivotal step towards modernizing tax collection, which will enhance transparency and revenue growth. Mohammad Aurangzeb also mentioned the necessary improvements required in existing data sources to effectively utilize them for tax purposes. Meanwhile, talking to regional head of the Technology and Tax McKinsey and Co. Tom Isherwood in Islamabad, Finance Minister reaffirmed government's commitment to improve tax collection through Federal Board of Revenue's ongoing efforts in digitization. He said the data from Pakistan Revenue Automation Limited and REMIT can be utilized in digitizing FBR's tax system. Pakistan and Korea have understood the need to strengthen economic cooperation and work towards addressing mutual concerns for the benefit of both countries. The sentiments were expressed at a meeting between Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb and Korean ambassador and representatives of the Korean companies working in Pakistan in Islamabad today. The minister underscored the significant macroeconomic improvements and noted the positive trend in foreign exchange reserves. This is Radio Pakistan. The Italian ambassador to Pakistan, Marilena Armelin, has pledged to enhance cooperation in various sectors, including agriculture and energy. Addressing an event in connection with Italy's 78th National Day in Islamabad, she said, Pakistan has immense potential, particularly in sectors like agriculture, where Italian expertise can play a transformative role. A varied duration anti-polio vaccination campaign began across the country today. During the campaign, anti-polio vaccine will be administered to 16.2 million children under 5 years of age. Mobile teams of health department will go door to door to ensure that no child is left without vaccination. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 more Kashmiri youth in Pulwama district today. The youth were martyred in a joint cordon and search operation by Indian troops and paramilitary forces in Nihama area of the districts. The troops also burnt a house to ashes with explosive material in the area. The bodies of the youth were recovered from debris of the house. Israeli forces have forcefully displaced over 1 million Palestinians from Rafah in besieged Gaza enclave. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees says more than 1.4 million Palestinians are sheltering in near the border with Egypt. The Israeli military has told civilians to go to an expanded humanitarian zone some 20 kilometers away. UNRWA said thousands of families now shelter in damaged and destroyed facilities in the city of Khan Yunis, where the agency is providing essential services despite increasing challenges. It said conditions are unspeakable. The United Nations experts have called on all countries to recognize a Palestinian state to ensure peace in the Middle East. The experts, including the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights Situation in Palestinian territories, said recognition of a Palestinian state is an important acknowledgement of the rights of Palestinian people. Pakistan beat Canada by 8-1 in a pool match of FIH Hockey Nations Cup at Gniezno in Poland today. For Pakistan, Abdul Rahman, Rana Ashraf Waheed, Ghazanfar Ali and Hanan Shahid scored goals. Pakistan will play their third match of the event against France on Wednesday. In the ICC T20 World Cup, Sri Lanka will take on South Africa at New York today. The match will start at 7:30 in the evening. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very hot in plain areas during the next 12 hours. However, rain with thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. And now the headlines once again. Prime Minister will leave for Beijing tomorrow on a 5-day official visit to China to further boost bilateral relations and cooperation in diverse fields. China has expressed its readiness to expedite work on second-phase CPEC projects, including ML1, Gwadar Port and realignment of Karakoram Highway. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.